Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? It's like focusing right up on me. It is 12:09 a.m. and I'm gonna vlog and then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna go to bed early. I have my training session tomorrow, which I have not been great about attending. So I'm getting back on track tomorrow is my goal. And what is like sticking through there? And I wanna get a good night's sleep. I had such a fantastic, relaxing day today. I really didn't do a whole lot. Well, I didn't really do, this camera keeps on sinking down. I didn't really do anything today at all. We woke up and we laid in bed with the dogs and we talked and just had kind of a nice late morning. And then we went to brunch and had a really good time at brunch. One of our favorite waiters that only like works in there like one day a week was there. So we talked to him a bunch, and then afterwards, what did we do afterwards? Oh, I had like to talk to on the phone to some sober friends of mine. So Alex came back and he like fed the dogs and did a bunch of stuff around the house, and I was like only talking to them for like an hour. And then I came back and then he was watching a TV show. I did something else when I came back. I can't remember what I was gonna do. Well, we didn't leave brunch until like 3:15, 3:30. So that would have been like 5. Yeah, I got back and then we were gonna watch Monn tonight, the movie Monn, because we've been wanting to watch that. And so he was catching up on TV shows in bed and I was like, I'm gonna take a nap. Like, I'm not gonna make videos today. I had a bunch of videos I wanted to make and I was like, you know, I think I'm just, because by then it would have got up so late. They would have got up at like 7 or 8. So I was like, I'm just going to relax and take a nap and hang out with Alex. So that's what I did. So I took a nap for like 2 hours with him and the dogs and we all just kind of laid in bed. It was nice. He fell asleep at some point too. And then we both kind of woke up at like 8 o'clock and I had a weird dream. I told him what it was. What was it? What did I tell him? It was like, it was about somebody famous. It was so funny. I can't remember what it was. Oh, I had a dream that something had happened to Donatella Versace. And I woke up and I was like, he was like, what were you dreaming about? You were like talking in your sleep. And I said, something happened to Donatella Versace. And he was like, oh, that's random. I go, I know. Maybe it's because I've been like watching a lot of like New York Fashion Week and stuff that's been going on with all of that. I don't know, maybe. But anyway, so that was so then he was like, well, I started getting up and he was like, are you getting up right now? And he was like, you can lay down for a little bit longer if you want to. And I said, well, I already slept for like 2 hours. I got my hair due tonight. I said, I already slept for like 2 hours. And he said, well, you can sleep for a little bit longer if you want because I'm still finishing up this TV show. He was watching some show and I said, okay. So I slept till like 9. It was so nice. But then I got up and it was like, I had slept so much last night and then I took that super long nap and it was like I slept too much. And so then I was going to the grocery store to get us snacks for the movie and he was getting like everything set up for the movie. So I went to the grocery store. The line for the self-checkout was like so long. I mean, literally, it was so long. It was like 10 carts in front of me. I almost like pushed my cart to the side, but I got this huge thing of Mums. All those Mums that I showed in my vlog the other night, you guys, it's now down to like 10 or 15 Mums, and they're the most expensive ones. But I got this huge pot. I only bought one. I was like, I'm not gonna buy a bunch of them. So I bought one pot of plums. I said, one pot of Mums, and they were $29.95, but they're beautiful. And then I got a pumpkin for $8. So I got that, and then I just got some candy and stuff, which I only ended up eating one box. I didn't even finish the box I got goobers. I don't know why that cracks me up so much, but I got a box of goobers, and I got him he wanted some Nerds, and I got him 2 boxes of Nerds. So, you know, he loves the sours. I don't like the sours, and I don't eat all that anyway. I just mostly eat like chocolate and stuff. So anyway, yeah, and then we watch Monn. I thought it was really, really good. I was surprised because I don't know what's going on with this camera. It's I'm not wanting to like sit still. I don't know. I heard a lot of people say they didn't really like it and that it got bad reviews and stuff like that. I thought it was really well done. I mean, right out of the gate, it kind of gets right into the story. And Juliette Lewis is in it. I haven't seen her in anything in a long time. She was really great in it too. But it just was kind of like right away, you could tell that it was gonna be, so it's kind of a revenge story, but you don't really know why she's seeking revenge. And I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it is graphic. Like, it is really graphic. I mean, at the end, I was like doing this job kind of thing, you know? And, yeah, there was but it was like weirdly realistic too. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It just was kind of weird. It was weirdly realistic. It was good. It was really suspenseful. I mean, as far as a movie that like a scary movie, a horror movie that's like scary, you know, a suspenseful, I probably would give it like a 4 point. Alex said, he goes, it was just okay. That's what he said. But I would have given it like a 4.4. I like the suspense movies. Like, that's what I like, is when they're real suspenseful and stuff like that. So, yeah. Do you remember I wanted a Jeep Wrangler so bad, and I would talk about it on here all the time? There's a Jeep Wrangler over here, and it's a 2-door Jeep Wrangler, and I think the 2-door Jeep Wranglers are cute too, but like, if you're gonna get a 2-door, why wouldn't you get a 4-door? Although the 4-doors, I think, are so much more expensive, aren't they? I don't know, I looked at a 4-door. I think Alex looked at a 2-door though, like a brand new 2-door, because he leases his cars. I'm glad I got the Cherokee. Why is it so cold in here? I don't even have it set that low. What am I doing? It's 72 degrees outside. It's really not that, it feels like perfect outside. I took the dogs outside right before I left. Yeah, so I don't know why I'm tired. I don't like my mind is kind of like tired, like relaxed, you know? I've just been so relaxed all day today. I wanted to start the new book club book. But I didn't start that today. I talked to Mel for a while too. I talked to a lot of people today, it feels like, on the phone. I talked to Mel, and I talked to a bunch of recovery friends. I did not talk to Tanya today. And who else did I talk to? Valerie and I were texting. You know, it's funny, like, I'll get on the phone with one of my friends and they'll start like, we'll just like, you know, catch up, because it's like, you know, we talk like every 3 or 4 days or whatever, and they'll be like telling me stuff about the kids and their husbands, and it's like, you know, all of a sudden 45 minutes later it goes by and you're like, okay, we've talked about like what you had for dinner. Oh my God, I tried this, excuse me, new recipe, and it was really good, and you know, so the kids loved it, my husband loved it, and I'm like, oh really, what was it? And they're like, oh, you should try it. I'm like, well, I don't cook. And they're like, oh, I always forget that, you know. It's like that conversation, and we talk recovery stuff, and who we saw at a meeting or something, you know, and it's like, oh, I ran into so-and-so at the meeting. Oh, you did? Oh, I haven't seen him in forever, you know, stuff like that. It's just, it's nice. It's kind of like a weird, I wouldn't say it's like a weird world, because it is. I mean, it just is. I mean, it's normal to me, you know? But like, sometimes I'll get off the phone and Alex will be like, I mean, because obviously Alex knows all these people, right? And so he'll be like, were you guys talking about like such and such? And I'll be like, well, what do you mean? He's like, you guys just talk about like, just like the language that we use, or like, you know, somebody will say something like, oh, well, back in the day when, you know, and he's just like, I can't, it's just crazy to me, the conversations you have. The other thing that's funny to Alex is like, that like we'll meet somebody in sobriety and then like go and have coffee with them and hang out and exchange numbers, and like literally within like 24 hours we're like that good of friends because we've shared things like that, you know, deep with each other. So yeah, so that was my day. It was a good day. I don't really have a whole lot else to talk about my day. We were supposed to do the camera this weekend, and we never got to it. It's sitting right on the kitchen counter, and I said something to him twice about it. We didn't get to it, and then one time he said something to me about it. And I thought today we would hang out with like Fufu and the family, but nobody ever texted him, he said, so I don't think they maybe were doing anything. And Fufu goes back tomorrow, but we see him in a week, like week and a half, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. We're going out there. So I gotta call Susie and figure out if we're gonna visit Susie in Denver. I want to finish Orange is the New Black so bad. I keep on saying I'm going to finish it, and then I don't finish it. And I only have a couple episodes left, and I keep on not finishing it. Why is it so cold when I have it set to like 68 in here? It's not making any sense. I can't believe we're halfway through September already. It's like today was like the halfway mark through September. It seems so bizarre to me. Just going so fast. And we need to figure out if we want to take another trip before we go to Miami in March. Because if not, like, if we go to Denver, but if we don't go to Denver, we probably won't go anywhere until March, which is like good anyway, because then we get to save money. And you know, he and I really like to kind of just what do you call it, hibernate in the winter. Like, he doesn't really like to go out a whole lot in the winter. He does a lot in the summer, but he doesn't in the winter. PB was, oh, I know what today was. PB coughed a lot today. Like, it was a lot. And I don't know who said this on my vlog the other day, but I just want to thank you because it really got me through today. Because there are days that he coughs a lot, but today was like, he coughed a lot, like when I was asleep, because it woke me up each time that I was asleep, and he coughed like 5 times, which is a lot. I mean, that's a lot. Like, there are days that he doesn't cough at all. So to cough like 5 hours in the span of 2 hours, or 5 times in the span of 2 hours is a lot. And then it was like, he coughed once while we were watching the movie. He coughed like twice earlier today. So it was like a total of like, what is that, 7, 8, 9 times today, you know, something like that. I don't know how many times, but like at least 7 or 8. And it really stressed me out. And then I remembered that somebody said, I think this was just yesterday I read this comment. Somebody said, you know, that's kind of how it is when you have a sick dog. Like, there are days that they're good, there's days that they're not. There's days that they, like, are running in the backyard. There's days that they, like, run around, like, and, like, are walking around, like, you know, and they can hardly walk. And I think that kind of, like, it sadly defines where PP is. You know, there's days I look at him where you can tell in his face, like in his eyes, he's really sharp, like that day. Like, he knows what's going on, he's playing with the puppies. And then there's other days where he's just like sitting there and he's like so relaxed, he's kind of like out of it, and his face looks like this. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, like, it makes me sad. I mean, I understand he's not going to live to be 100, you know? And he's got all of this stuff going on, but what is going on with this light? Why is it not changing? This light never changes, I swear. And if you're sitting here and you sit at it for like 25 minutes, I'm gonna go through here and turn around. It'll probably change as soon as I get up there. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Nope, it still hasn't changed. still hasn't changed. Turn signal's still not on. But it made me, oh, it never did, twice it went through and never turned on the turn signal. Good thing that I did what I did. But, so whoever left me that comment, thank you. It really meant a lot to me, and it really helped me today, because I was stressed about it, you know? And the thing is like, he coughs, and then he's fine right after that. And then he coughs, and he's fine right after that. And when I call the vet, and I say something about it, you know, I mean, I call the vet all the time anymore. It's like I call, you know, talked to her about the food this last week when I have to pick up more food tomorrow. You know, I talked to her about the food, and she was like, you know, gave me suggestions, and she's so nice. She always takes my call, or her assistant will to call me back, you know, or whatever, but I sometimes feel like I'm burdening her, and she's always like, don't even worry about it, Peter. She's like, you guys have 3 dogs. She's like, you know, I mean, we have people that call us all the time. She's like, it's what I do, you know? And she's fantastic. But when I do ask her about the cough, she'll say, I mean, Peter, this is part of what's going on with heart disease. You know, this is what it's going to be. And I know that, but at the same time, I know that we're trying to get rid of the cough. And when he's loaded up on all of these meds and the cough is still there, it stresses me out. It worries me for him, you know? Plus, it's like in the middle of when he's coughing, he's like, and then like as soon as it's over, it's like he's forgotten he was even coughing. Like he's completely fine. But bum, 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 bum. I was sitting here thinking, like, I haven't finished any TV shows this year, but that's not true. I've watched Pose the whole season, RuPaul's Drag Race. I finished Grace and Frankie. There was something I wanted to talk about tonight. Now I don't remember what it was. When Mel and I were talking, she was finishing The Woman in the Window, and she said she didn't like it. I mean, I kind of understand, though, why she doesn't like it, but I thought it was so good. The Woman in the Window and Behind Her Eyes and a lot of those books that came out last year, it was kind of like the trend of the untrustworthy narrative, and what that means, or narrator, and what that means is that, like, you don't know if you can trust, like, what they're telling you, like, in the book, right? But they're the ones telling the story. It's a literary term, so you don't know if you can trust, you know, what they're telling you. And, I mean, they could, you know, basically be narrating this whole idea that at the end is totally untrue, makes no sense. And Behind Her Eyes, I believe she was an alcoholic in that book. I believe, like, that was part of the book. It's been a long time since I read it, I don't know. Last night I said that the vlog wasn't going to be really long, and it ended up being like an hour, over an hour long. Do you hear that rattling in the back? So I still have our 2 patio chairs back there. And I'm going to McDonald's and getting a Diet Coke, by the way, in case you wondered. And then, which I'm sure you didn't. And then I also have my friend, I picked him up and we went and got his bike the other day, and it's his bike tire pump is in the back of my car. And it's this big metal thing. And it's in the back of my car. So it's rattling back there now too. We had those chairs in there this whole summer, didn't use them like one time. I don't think we ever used them. Oh no, we did. 4th of July for about 20 minutes maybe, sitting in Melissa's driveway or something. I don't know how long we were out there, but I used one. Maybe Melissa used one too, I don't remember. I talked to Melissa today about Friday the 13th. Oh, I know what I called Melissa about today. This was so sad. So We used to have Marsh grocery stores here, and they were, it was like a, I don't think they were just to Indianapolis, but I do know that it was David Letterman's sister married the guy who owns Marsh, because my mom went to high school with her and was friends with her in high school. And my mom, like, if you haven't heard me tell this story, so like my mom and her friends would like go to pick up David Letterman's sister in high school, and when they were like junior seniors, he was like 8th grade, 9th grade, something like that. And all of his friends would be like sitting around like watching TV, like on the floor, and my mom would like tell stories how she totally remembered him. And she went to like some book signing, and he like signed it to her and like made this huge production that he knew who she was and all this kind of stuff. She got a real kick out of it. So anyway, she always loved David Letterman. But she was like, it's really funny because I remember him when he was like, you know, 13, 14, 15, you know, in high school and stuff. And she was like, he was like this nerdy guy. And she's like, now he's this super famous person. Isn't that funny?
We're closed down for 15 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I don't think it matters when I come through here. It seems like they're always closed down for 15 minutes. I don't know what that's about. But they just lost my $1.08 that I was going to get a Diet Coke with. Because I don't know if I want to drive all the way back to the other one. Oh, but anyway, so Melissa and I were like in love with this Marsh superstore, right? Grocery store, right? We had them all around Indianapolis. Well, they closed all of them down this last year. And Melissa and I were devastated because they were just kind of like a local thing and we loved them, you know? Well, I'm gonna see if I have enough change to get a Coke. Oh! God, I just keep on pulling dollars out of here like nobody's business. Isn't that so funny? There's a dime. So, there was this woman, I would go in there late at night, you know? And I would get food. They had these things in there that I absolutely love. They were like these little pinwheel things, but not like the sandwiches. And they would have hummus in the middle of them. And oh my God, they were so good. And I loved them. And they like made them in like the deli. And I would get those. And they were like $200 for like 8 like little pieces. Or $200. 200 calories for 8 little pieces. And so I would get like 2 of them. And that would be like my like dinner for a night. Like when I was dieting. I don't know if I ever showed them on here or not. Because Marsh would have been around when I was like still vlogging. So anyway, there was this woman that worked there at the one by our house, which they're turning into an Aldi. And well, this is so funny tonight on the phone. She's like, I mean, it's Aldi and I like Aldi. She's like, but it's not Marsh. And I really wish it was a Marsh, but it's an Aldi and I think that it'll be okay. But so, but there was this woman that worked in there and she always worked overnight. It was at the end and I didn't even know it. But there was this woman and she worked there overnight and she was real nice. And like she was friends with all the police officers and the police officers would like come in there. Like they, you know, would sit in there and they sat in the parking lot and they protected her and stuff like that. She was like one of like 3 people that worked in this grocery store overnight, right? She was the only one that worked as a cashier. And really efficient, like really just knew her job. She had worked in there forever. Like, I mean, as long as the store had been open, I think she worked there 3rd shift. And was just super friendly. And, you know, I remember every year for Christmas and Thanksgiving, she would, like, at her house, because she was off those days, she would tell me that she, like, threw this huge, like, Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner for the police, and that they would all stop by, like, during their shift or whatever, and they would eat and then go on to their shifts, and she would have, like, the football game on for them and all this kind of stuff. She was super nice. Like, she was just, like, this really, I loved this woman. She was real chatty and real talkative, and I don't know, I just, like, you could tell she just really took pride in her job. So, and just loved everything about it, you know, and just a really good person. So tonight I was at Kroger, and I was checking out in this line that was a mile long, and I look, and she's like in the lane checking stuff out for herself. And I saw like she had a name tag on of where she works now, and which was interesting to me in its own. But I just kind of looked at her and I thought, like, that's so sad. Like, I don't know. I was gonna go up and say hi to her, and I thought she ain't gonna remember me. You know, it's weird how you, like, know people in situations like that. I mean, I know people that work in gas stations because we get fountain pops, you know, or all over the place. And it's like, I get these weird kind of attachments on people that I talk to just kind of randomly, you know? And I was sitting there looking at her, and I, like, really wanted to go up to her and be like, hey, I haven't seen you in forever. I used to come into Marsh. Do you remember me? And I thought, she probably doesn't want to be bothered. I'm probably just some customer to her, you know, which goes back to how I always am with people anyway, my whole life. But I was like, you know, I don't want to bother her, and she probably doesn't remember who I am. But, like, she made an impact on me in, like, a really positive way. I don't know. I probably should have gone up and said something to her, whatever. Sad, though, like, you know, like, I can't tell you, like, how many gas stations I go into regularly, or Tanya and I do, right? And we get real attached to the people that work in there. And then it's like, all of a sudden we go in one day and we're like, oh, where's, you know, Judy? And they're like, oh, Judy doesn't work here anymore. Well, what happened? She got fired. Oh, okay. Or, oh, she quit. She quit 2 days ago. She just didn't come in for a shift anymore. And it's like, for 2 years, we talked to Judy 5 nights a week. You know what I mean? We joked with Judy. We asked Judy questions about her life. Oh, now Judy doesn't work here anymore, and we're never going to see Judy again. I know it's weird, but, like, at the same time, it's like... But I feel like I talk to more and more people, and they're like, yeah, I know people that work in the gas stations. I know people at the grocery stores. So maybe it's not such a weird thing, you know? My husband's always like, how do you know these people? I'm like, I talk to them when I go into the stores and stuff. I do think, though, like, when I was younger, my mom did that kind of stuff, and it would have totally been like, I would have been like, Mother, stop talking to everybody. Oh my God, why are you talking to everybody? And now I don't know a stranger, you know? YouTube's actually been really good for me about that. Like, I wasn't like that really before YouTube, you know? I'm now I'm more comfortable in my own skin and talking to people that I don't know, and, you know, just striking up some kind of conversation, and, you know, I didn't used to be like that. And I like that part of myself. It's almost kind of easier for me to talk to, this is gonna sound crazy, not my close friends like, you know, Tanya and Melissa and Valerie and stuff like that, but it's almost sometimes easier for me to talk to a total stranger than it is to talk to a friend, or like somebody that I kind of know, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of hard. Not like a friend, but like if I'm at like a baby shower or a wedding, I hate like those situations. I'm just horrible in those situations. Has anybody had that Popeyes chicken sandwich? I just drove by Popeyes. Everybody's going crazy about that chicken sandwich. And now, apparently they have this thing where you can bring your own bun. Have you heard about that? Yes, you can bring your own bun because apparently they're running out of the buns. But, so is it just a chicken sandwich on a bun, and that's all that it is, and people are going crazy about this chicken sandwich, and all it is just a piece of chicken on a bun? I don't get it, really, but I don't get it, but I don't think it matters if I get it or not. McDonald's is now hiring managers and crew if you'd like to find a job over here. Open 24 hours, unless they're closed down for 15 minutes. I take you guys through 3 different McDonald's. Do you not feel so honored? Now watch, this car's gonna come around and go through. This car behind me, there's a car in front of me. The car behind me is gonna come around and it's gonna go into the side one, and it's gonna get waited on first. I almost thought about doing it, but I didn't. Yep, he just went to the side one. Damn it. It's a game. I get my hair cut this week. In case you care. In case you care, I get my hair cut this week. Oh, I forgot somebody texted me. I was going to text them back when I got up from my nap. Do you ever do that? I am so bad about texting people. I like woke up and I was like, I looked at my phone and I was like, oh. Yeah, I just want him to know that he was here after me and he got to go first. That pisses me off. I mean, not really, but. Bundled cheese one snack wrap.
What have you?
Can I get a large Diet Coke, please?
Okay.
That's it.
109, second window.
How is it 109 here and the McDonald's at the street, it's 108? It's like the biggest mystery in the world to me. 109 second window. They have all kinds of racks in that one. This guy in front of me that I was just talking about, he is all up on the Facebook. I can see it from here. He's scrolling through it. He just stopped on something. And this guy's picture. He's literally like holding it up like this. Like almost like it's weird. It's almost like he wants me to see it. But I don't really care to see your Facebook. I don't even really care to see my Facebook. That movie like creeped me out. It didn't creep me out in like a way like I'm scared to like go to my house. Like it wasn't that. It was like psychologically suspenseful. You know what I mean? Last night, so like when I go to my vlog, like you have like 3 pictures that you can pick from. Like it self-creates a thumbnail for you. I was literally sitting here telling a story. The battery died right on me. Okay, so and this battery I don't think has a whole lot of juice left in it, so I don't know how long it's gonna last. But anyway, so I was creating a thumbnail for my vlog that I posted earlier, and it's like, so YouTube comes up with like 3 thumbnails, right? Like that you can pick from, or you can like, you know, make your own thumbnail. This guy is like walking up to these cars. What is going up here on here? What is he doing? I don't know what he's doing. He's like walking up to the cars. Did you see this? Did you just see that? Be still my heart. He like walked right behind my car. Okay, so anyway, he was like walking up to each car and he was like waving to us. So there's always like 3 thumbnails that you can pick from, right? And it could be like anything, like it could be like perfect picture, like, or it could be like I'm talking and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like you never know what it's gonna be, right? Well, today all 3 of them were really good. I know that sounds totally arrogant and stupid, but let me just tell you that I think for like the last 2.5 years there hasn't been one good thumbnail picture on there. I always have to picture it and it's like this and I'm like triple chinned or whatever, you know what I mean? I was like, not that YouTube picked 3 really good pictures for my vlog today, thank you. Now on my other channels, like, okay, so on my Peter Monn channel, of course I always make my thumbnails. My Peterisms, it depends. And most times I don't make my thumbnails, I just pick one from off there. My Peter Likes Books, it depends. But typically I just pick one from off of there. But they're usually just me sitting there anyway, you know, in the chair. And then the Peter Review stuff, I always make one. I got real fancy twice and made it on like the Pick Monkey, you know, on the app on the computer, and nobody cared. And I was like, I'm not getting fancy with this stuff anymore. Nobody cares. Those were called test subjects. I took a shower last night before I hung out with my friends, and now my hair is like, look at it, from being in bed all day long. It's a mess of trouble. What did they order? 15 Big Macs or something? Like, God. 2 fish sandwiches with, oh, they got the world's smallest bag for being here that long. I should try to hand him his change and he gets drove on out of here. Please let me document every moment of me sitting in the drive-thru at McDonald's. I can't figure out what this guy is doing. He's like going back and forth between looking at his Facebook. Like he's holding, I almost, like I'm not going to show him, obviously, but he's holding his Facebook, his thing like this, and he's scrolling up a picture and stopping, and then he turns and he looks at me in the rearview mirror. It's the weirdest thing, you guys. There, he just did it again. Okay, now he's getting his food. Oh, he's like staring. Oh, she's got his credit card. He ran off because he was staring at me in the rearview mirror. Oh, he's got a gay bumper sticker. Well, maybe that's what it was all about. You know, I still look good.
1 second, please.
He was too busy staring me down in the rearview mirror. That's why he drove off. No, it's the truth.
He said, 1 second. Leslie, luego se coló. Hey, what's up for mi credit card?
Hey, have a good one. Bye. That totally made my night, so you know. That whole interaction there.
How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
Well, I was trying to see if, like, somehow somebody can help out me something.
I can't hear what he's saying. You know what they say about the full moons and all that. The full moon's over my hammy. Okay, now where to? So when we go to, so it's our favorite waiter, but he only works there 1 day a week because he works somewhere else. He like, has like a profession somewhere else. So anyway, he's so funny and we just like love him, and like Alex has seen him out and stuff like that. He's just a really nice guy. And so when we go in there, he always is like wanting to make us, well, he did, oh, I don't have it in here anymore. Well, today he made me a latte because he's always like, so like they have coffee that you can go up and like, you pay for it, but like you go up and you get it yourself and you put sugar and cream and stuff, right? But like he'll be like, do you want an espresso? And I'm like, no, I'm good with my coffee. He's like, let me make you an espresso. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And then he'll be like to Alex, do you want an espresso? And Alex is like, no. And he's like, oh no, I make a perfect espresso. I put a little bit of this and then a little bit of that. And he's like, it's perfect, you'll love it, right? And so today it was so funny because he was like, oh, we got a new espresso machine. And we're like, you did? And he was like, let me make you an espresso. It totally reminded me of the guy from Beverly Hills Cop. Do you guys remember that? And I said to him, I go, oh my God, this reminds me so much of this. Because he was like, let me make you a latte. He goes, do you want a latte? He goes, oh no, I put a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And it totally reminded me of that scene. And so I said, oh my God, this reminds me so much of this scene from this movie. I go, you probably haven't. He goes, I've seen every movie. And I go, have you seen Beverly Hills Cop? He goes, I think so, maybe, I don't know. And I go, well, have you seen it or not? It's with Eddie Murphy and he's a detective and he goes to Los Angeles. He goes, I think I have seen that, yes. And I said, I go, do you remember that scene when he's like ordering the espresso and whatever, and he was like, so he looked at me and he goes, no. And I go, you don't remember this scene? And Alex knew the scene I was talking about, so he was laughing. I go, the scene with the guy in The art gallery, or he goes, the scene with the guy when he goes to visit his friend, and I couldn't remember that he was in an art gallery, and he looked at me and he goes, in an art gallery? And I go, yeah, and he goes, yes, I remember that scene. He goes, I'm nothing like him. I go, oh my God. But he did make us a latte. He made Alex an espresso, and he said it was really good, and he made me a latte to take with us, so that was really nice. I feel like I know everything. We have like 3 restaurants that we go to regularly, and you know, that place is one of them for our brunch. And I feel like we know everything about every waiter and every waitress that works in there. We know their husbands and wives' names. We know about their families. We know about their school, their education, where they came from, where they grew up. And they know everything about us too. They treat us so well in there. And the thing I love about it is that, like, when we go on Sundays, we went yesterday too, but when we go on Sundays, there's like probably 5 other couples that are there at the same time that we are. And they're older couples too. And they're always, like, they're regulars just like us. They're in there all the time. There's also, like, they have a little bar that you can sit at. Not a bar. It's not like a bar. They don't serve alcohol. Well, they do serve alcohol. They serve mimosas and stuff like that. And I think they might serve, like, one kind of beer, but that's about it. But it's like a diner bar. You know what I'm talking about? And they'll have... I just bit the side of my mouth. And they'll have people sitting there. And then it's, like, always, like, the same 4 or 5 people every Sunday when we're there that are sitting at the little diner bar. I think I would have done really, really well growing up in just a really small town, you know, where I knew everybody. I don't know, maybe. If everybody liked me, I mean, it would be hell if nobody liked you, then it would be a totally different story. Then I want to get the hell out, you know? But I think, like, had I grown up in a little town like that where I knew everybody, or if I lived in a town like that today, I think... I don't know. If you read the Pines series by Blake Crouch... Here's where the question comes, okay? When I was reading that, I was like, I could totally live there for the rest of my life and not ever question it. That was a good series. He's got a bunch of other books that I haven't read that I thought about reading too. Oh. Boat and RV storage. I don't see a whole lot of boats being stored out there. I drove this to McDonald's, back to a different McDonald's. Does it look familiar? We were in outside. So that I could go get a Diet Coke. There's an alarm going off somewhere. Oh, I think it's at the Home Depot or whatever that is. I'm gonna drive by there and see real quick. Because it looked like the light was flashing. That sounds like a case for Investigator Peter. No, 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 no. Did you guys ever watch Moonlighting back in the day? I loved that show so much. They're all on YouTube, if you want to know, okay? I have the pilot VHS. Do you hear that? Let's go investigate. But I used to watch Moonlighting with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd. I love that. And that Allison girl, I can't think of what her name is. But anyway, she was the one that read all the poems at the beginning when she would answer the phone. She worked in the office. But anyway, I have the pilot episode on VHS. What is going on? I can't tell if it is that or not. But their thing over their door is going off. Do you want to know what's really weird? Is there is a minivan sitting down here in the corner. I don't feel like it's coming from there. Because it was louder. I wonder where it's coming from. But anyway, I love that show, Moonlighting. I wanted to be a detective for so long. But I just have to tell you that they are all on YouTube. All of the Moonlighting episodes. I think it is that. The door is straight up open right there. You can see, it's like flashing. Like it has this blue light that's like flashing like crazy like that at the Home Depot. So that means somebody must have tried to open the door, or an animal did. I can't believe somebody's not out there yet trying to fix that. Let's drive down here and then we'll drive back, and we'll see if by the time we drive back if it's still going on. Did you ever see that movie Blow Up back in the day with John Travolta? Okay, I had to cut part of this out because I was talking about the movie Blow Up. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay, with John Travolta, and he captured something on film that he's not supposed to capture. And so I went back to the parking lot. The alarm's still going off. I went back to the parking lot and like scanned by there, and I was like just to show you guys the flashing light, and then I got like real spooked, so I'm like, I'm just gonna take that part of it out. And it just is what it is. I'm not gonna leave that in there because it like scares me then that I would have something in there I wasn't supposed to have. Okay, because I started talking about that movie and then it got in my head, and then I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so anyway. If you don't know the story of Blow Up, the story is that John Travolta is like taking like photographs, I think, or film of something of this like bicentennial thing, or I can't remember. It was like, anyway. But he captures something on film, and it's literally like just in 2 seconds, right? But then like all these people are like hunting him down. They even did like a remake of it. I don't remember what the remake was called, but they did a remake of it. And so it was getting in my head, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I need somebody chasing me down because I captured something on film in a vlog because I was wondering what was going on at the Home Depot. I don't care that deep, okay? So I didn't see anything. I'm just saying I didn't see anything. But anyway. So we will just keep on driving. But it didn't look like there was anything going on there anyway. There was like no cars. The minivan that was in the parking lot was like for sale or something. It didn't look like there was anything going on in the parking lot. It just looked like the door was going off. There was nothing going on. So it probably was just like an animal or something. Anyway. Pretty outside tonight. I'm wondering when it's going to start getting cool. Usually by the 1st of October it starts getting cool, you know, and it's like sweater weather and stuff like that. I need to pull down some of my sweaters and get ready for all of that. Did you guys experience any full moon weirdness? I feel like everywhere I went, when I would like talk to somebody about what was going on, it would just be something random. Like, a long line at a gas station, they'd be like, well, you know, it is the full moon. And I'd be like, okay, but that doesn't really explain like a long line at the gas station. You know what I mean? Or it would be something just like, where was I when I was talking to somebody and they were like, well, you know, the full moon. And I was like, well, the full moon is like supposed to be like crazy stuff happens. It doesn't really mean like long lines. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just thought it was funny that people said that stuff. Somebody in my comment section that it said it's not going to be another full moon on Friday the 13th till 2049. Is that the truth? Say it ain't so. That makes me sad. Do we ever see another Haley's Comet or whatever it's called, another comet in our lifetime? I saw a shooting star the other night. They're always so pretty, aren't they? But they're gone about as fast as you notice them. Do you make wishes on them? I still make wishes on the shooting stars. What was that song back in the day? Shooting Star. Do you remember that song? That movie Ma had a lot of songs that reminded me of high school. Well, I was trying to figure it out. They must have, like, the parents in the movie must have been in high school at about the same time that I did. Although, I feel like costume designers in movies completely get the late 80s wrong. Like the outfits they wore were not like stuff that we wore in the late 80s. I don't know, maybe it was. I just like, I mean, I'm not even talking just like me and my friends. I'm talking about like everybody. I remember how people dressed, and I don't remember people dressing the way that they like portray us sometimes dressed. Or has it just been so long that it's just like, I have no grasp of reality of what we really looked like back then. That must be it. I don't know. Just all of us looked like a bunch of fools and didn't realize it. Is that place? There's a new Mexican restaurant. Oh my God, the new Mexican restaurant is called Tequila Sunrise. Or was it called that before? I don't know. That Mexican restaurant has been so many different things. And there's this Mexican restaurant by us, and it is literally like, I mean, it has been 15 different names. It was Cancun at one time, that chain Cancun, you know? And then it was like, but before it was Cancun, it was La Hacienda. Oh, no. There's two La Haciendas, but the time before it was like La Hacienda. Or which one did she, I wonder which one she went to. Melissa and Jason, so they went and had brunch the other day, and they like took a picture and they sent it to us. And so I was talking to her on the phone. Was it when I talked to her on the phone, or where did I see them? Oh, it was for the Horror Hound Fest. I go, where did you guys go for brunch? And she goes, La Hacienda. And I was like, oh, really? Because Melissa calls this one place, even though it's changed names like 6 times, she always calls it Hacienda. But then there's La Hacienda that's like locally owned, and like all the chairs are painted different. It's beautiful inside. I wonder if that's where she went for brunch, but I don't think they have outside. She showed pictures outside. I don't think they have outside seating. I don't know. So I was telling Alex at brunch, I think this was the story I was going to tell yesterday and I never told it, that I saw like on our local news on Twitter or something. I follow like the local news on Twitter, but it's always cases from like other states. I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, they had on there this case that happened in Florida. Did I talk about this already on here? Maybe I did, I don't know, but it completely freaked me out. We were talking about this at brunch yesterday. That this guy had gone missing 40 years ago. He told his, I swear I probably told this story last night, I just don't remember, you guys. But he told his girlfriend, he was like at a bar or something, he called her and he said, I'll be home in like a half an hour, and he never showed up. And they never found him, and they never knew what happened to him or anything, right? And so 40 years go by and they still don't have an answer about what happened to him. Well, some neighbor in the neighborhood was like on Google Earth looking something up, and there was like this huge recession pond lake or whatever, like right next to the housing addition. And he like looked in Google Earth and you could see that there was like this calcified car there. And they pulled this car out and his like calcified body was inside of it or something. Is that not so crazy? I couldn't believe it. weird stuff goes on. I think I always get kind of freaked when I'm out in the country and I'm like at a stoplight and my car shuts off like it always does because it has that thing in it, you know, to save gas. But it always reminds me of like when you're watching a scary movie, a horror movie, and the car won't start and you're out in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like that's what it reminds me of. Pretty spooky. Tookie, Tookie, how'd you get so spooky? He was running around today being hilarious. Tucker's like the scarediest of all of them though. Like if something happens, he like runs right back inside. Boo Radley's scared, but like if somebody comes out, if Pee-Pee's out there, then Boo Radley's not scared. He's like, oh, but he's like looking at Pee-Pee the whole time. Like, is Pee-Pee right there to back me up? Pee-Pee's not scared of anything. Pee-Pee knows that. He thinks he runs the world. He's like, I'm in charge of everything. Don't even worry about it. He really isn't scared of anything. Boo Radley is terrified of thunderstorms. Tucker and Pee-Pee, they don't care at all. It doesn't bother them at all, but Boo Radley is terrified. I mean, he literally climbs up my chest, and it's like scratches in my skin and stuff. And I've been meaning to get him one of those, like, thunder coats, thunder jackets. I heard that they work really well, you know, for dogs. If you guys have one, if you have a dog and you put him in those thunder coats when it, like, is thunderstorming outside, will you let me know if it works for you? Thinking about getting one of those for him. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna get off here now, and I'm gonna go home and go to sleep early. I'm not gonna watch Orange Is the New Black, I don't think. If I get home, by the time I get home, if I decide I want to watch Orange Is the New Black, I will. But I think I want to go home and watch Orange Is the New Black and lay down for a little bit, or not lay down for a little bit, lay down for. Scratch that. I think I'm gonna go home and not watch Orange Is the New Black and just go to bed and get a good night's sleep. And then that way I'll be all rested for my training tomorrow, and I can get up and do my training and be back on the Optavia program, and then I'll feel good tomorrow about all that choices. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday. I hope you're having an amazing Monday. Unless you have other plans. This construction just started right here, and it's so interesting to me because it literally started like a week and a half ago, and it's all of a sudden, like, here, I'll show you when I drive by. You can see it. But it's like huge. They already have all of this stuff like built up there, and it looks like they're building like a gravel pit or something. But anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday, unless you have other plans. Wait. I hope you're having an amazing Monday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Make the most of your day. Enjoy it. Relax. What's that song? Relax, don't do it. Anyway, enjoy your day the most. You know, have fun. Do something different. Eat somewhere different for lunch or dinner tonight. Or today or tonight. I really can't speak today, can I? Just make the best of today. You're exchanging a day of your life for it, and life is not a dress rehearsal. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day, preferably when you're starting your day, and you know, you validate yourself, and you look in the mirror and you say, I love you, you are valuable, you are important to this world, and you give yourself positive affirmations and tell yourself positive affirmations, or tell yourself positive affirmations. And most importantly, that you pass it on to somebody else and let them know how important they are to you. How many of you do that? Have any of you out there started that? Like, I try to, you know, remind myself of that every day, to let other people know how important they are to us and how other people, you know, impact our lives in a positive way. I think it's important to let people know that. And I love you, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Love ya.